Hey everyone, 2014 has been a very busy year. We moved, had a baby, things might got a little disorganized, maybe a little bit messy. I'm just going to come out and say it. The cat got into the editing software, tried to pull a few tricks. I can't say we're surprised, but here's what happened.
4 short years ago, I was the baby of the house, the cutest, the cuddliest, the furriest. Well, now I'm still the furriest, but this one came along. What were these two thinking? She doesn't have paws or a tail, but I guess she is pretty cute, and she might be my ticket to doing what I've been trying to do all along. Take this beauty broadcast thing and turn it into cuteness broadcast. Step 1, take over the Emily Awards for face. See, we've got faces, cute ones. We use them to get things like food, cuddles, and playtime. We don't need makeup, but for you people like Mommy who do need a little assistance with your cuteness, here are the Emily Awards for face.
Hi everyone! Thank you so much for joining me for the 7th year of the Emily Awards. Can you believe it's been going on this long? I really can't. And I was really holding my breath this year with, Belle, our new baby, who came along in September, and just trying to get this all pulled together this year has been quite a task because this truly is the most time-consuming, thought-consuming part of my makeup year as far as my YouTube channel is concerned. I got a whole little laptop that's actually devoted to the Emily Awards and a little database here where I actually keep track year to year what the favorites were. I take those into consideration, new products that I've tried, lots of product testing that goes on. I'm happy to do it. I love doing these. So thank you guys so much for tuning in every year, asking about them every time January rolls around. I really, really appreciate it. And as always, there may be some categories where there isn't a clear favorite, and if there's not, nothing will be mentioned because I don't want to just name things for the sake of having a favorite. And also all the award winners will be laid out on my blog, that's beautybroadcast.net, just so, if you watch this video and then a few days from now, maybe you're browsing the makeup aisles and you want just a quick way to reference the favorites, that's very easy to pull up, like on your phone, for example. Much easier than trying to track down a certain part of a video. For the category of Best Primer, I actually have a new high-end winner this year. It is the Clinique Super Primer. So happy with the texture, just the consistency of this product, and I just love how light it feels. I really feel like when I'm using a primer, I don't want to add any additional weight to my skin. I've already moisturized, I'm gonna have a foundation on. I don't want the primer to be something really heavy, and this is super lightweight, but yet I think it really evens out the texture of my skin and makes it very easy to put a foundation on top of that, and it is a creamy white product to look at it, but as you blend it into the skin, it just gets a really soft consistency. Definitely gives my skin a very, very softened feel. A new winner for drugstore as well, it's the Garnier 5-Second Blur. I have loved this product so much over the past year. Even if I don't use this all over my face, it's a great T-zone product, particularly if you're oily. This is very, very similar to the consistency, the texture of the Mally Perfect Prep Poreless Primer. That's kind of a light, almost mousse-like texture, but really makes the skin feel silky soft. I really have noticed this improving the wear of my foundation in areas where I get oily, so a great drugstore primer. For the category of light foundation, for high-end, it's gotta be the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Cream for me. I have used this so much. I really, really love this product. It has a surprising amount of coverage for a CC BB type product. Looks really fresh on the skin. A great alternative if you've been using, especially during the warmer months, using more foundations that maybe cater to oil control, and perhaps during that time of year your skin can really handle it, but now it's time to shift to something that's a little more nourishing. I find this looks so fresh and natural on my skin, but it actually does really help to cover up some flaws. Not to the point where I wouldn't need to use some concealer on certain areas, but I truly, truly love this product. It's got an amazing SPF 50. And then from the drugstore, my favorite light foundation, and this is a, I believe, 2-time winner, and this is the Rimmel BB Cream. And this has an SPF 25. I wear it in the shade Light. I'm actually wearing that today as well. I think of this kind of as a foundation with like an extra drink of moisture in it. You may still want to wear a moisturizer underneath, as I sometimes do with the IT Cosmetics also, or if your skin is more oily, you may not feel the need for that, but I find this to be the best and actually one of the cheapest BB creams in the drugstore. For best full coverage foundation, high-end, Estee Lauder Double Wear has been on a bit of a streak in the Emily Awards, and I still think that that traditional format is just an amazing foundation, but this past year, something else has come in that just completely changed the game for me. When I was dealing with my melasma and needed something totally full coverage to help me cover that up, during my pregnancy was when it really flared up, and now it's calmed down. Totally a hormonal thing. I've got a whole video on it, but the Double Wear Maximum Cover has really been the fullest of full coverage for me. Nothing is compared to this. This can eliminate the need for a concealer. If people out there are dealing with major skin discoloration, that can be, a really difficult thing to deal with, but this is kind of a one-step easy solution for that. I've heard so much great feedback from people who have tried this, had dealt with melasma like I had, and then found this to be the answer. From the drugstore, my favorite full coverage foundation. This is so funny because this was an Emily Award winner like way back at the beginning, and I retried it recently. It's been repackaged, and it's Rimmel Lasting Finish. Now it's in this glass jar with the red coloring on it, but it used to be in a squeeze tube, which I did kind of prefer. As far as the formulation of the foundation itself, I haven't noticed much change from the original. It's beautiful on the skin. I've totally been reminded of how much I love this. Today I mentioned I used the BB cream all over my skin, but then I just brought a little bit of this in, like on the under eye area. So happy with the way this looks. This is a foundation that my mother, who is in her 60s, uses and enjoys, and then I, in my 30s, early 30s now, that feels weird to say, but I love this too. I could see this as a very universal foundation that would work well for all skin types, does not look too heavy or unnatural, but actually packs in some really good coverage. Not as much as that Estee Lauder Maximum Cover, which is just an animal all its own. Oily skin, I think, can wear this lightly, set it with a little powder, and would probably be very satisfied with the way this comes off, and dry skin too, I think, would enjoy this very much. Best concealer is something that has won years ago, kind of lurked under the radar, but I'd still been using it, and now it's really come back as a favorite. And I think part of that is that it was something I reached for a lot when I was dealing with the biggest discoloration that I ever have on my face. I mentioned it before, the melasma. But it's Benefit Erase Paste. I wear this in number 2 medium. It is the perfect peachy tone concealer. It's got a lot of moisture in it, and as I am getting a little older, I am noticing, more dryness around my under eye area, and it really calls for a concealer that does have that really kind of emollient quality to it. I recently repurchased and retried my Bobbi Brown corrector in Bisque. I love that product too. The thing about it is, though, this is a much better value. You get so much more in this little container. It's a combination of being fantastic coverage, but also looking good on the skin and not making the skin look too dry. And if you use enough of that, by the way, you may want to set that lightly with a little bit of powder. My drugstore favorite concealer is a new winner this year. It is my Sonia Kashuk All Covered Up Concealer. Go figure, it's something that very closely mimics the texture of that erase paste, but is available in more, I think, normal skin tone shades, not so much the corrector peachy shades. Now, I do have the shade called Ivory. This is the kind of concealer, I can really use it all over my skin for whatever problems I might have. Great for not looking too dry. While I didn't really feel like I had a loose powder favorite this year that I had used a whole lot of, I do have a drugstore favorite, and it is a 2-time winner, the e.l.f. Mineral Booster in Sheer. As I talked about setting concealers, this is a great product to have to lightly dust over your concealers because it has kind of a similar finish and texture to like a Bare Minerals Mineral Veil type product, and I really do kind of like this every bit as much. And I use this today just all over my face as kind of a setting powder, loose powder. But like I said, even lightly on the under eye area, this can be a great little setting product. For best pressed powder, I feel like I have tried a lot of high-end powder foundations, but not really anything that's just technically a pressed powder that I've really loved or thought was above and beyond. But the thing that I do want to mention is my drugstore winner, which has been a winner for many years now, and it is the L'Oreal True Match. This product really flies under the radar for me, doesn't get mentioned a lot because it really lives in my purse, my bags a lot of the time. But for a powder, this has some nice coverage to it, a really nice smooth texture, And also, this particular line, I think L'Oreal True Match has a great shade range. And for a lot of drugstore powders, they'll seem to really minimize their amount of different shades they come out with. You know, they might have more shades in foundation, but a very minimal amount of shades in powder. So this might be something to look into to really get that great shade match. A couple of new winners for my powder foundations. This year for high-end, it's definitely the Celebration Illumination Foundation. I wear this in light. The name is just crazy, too many words, but I really do like this product so much. I've become so fascinated by powders that can go on and not really look powdery, you know, and this is one of those things where, I mean, the illumination word might even be kind of a stretch because I don't feel like this looks too dewy or too shiny or shimmery on the skin, but it just does look very fresh. So if you like using powder foundations and maybe you like a BB cream type thing and then you just want to finish off your look with a powder that might pack in a little more coverage, I think this is great for that. So I love the illumination version of this product. And then for drugstore, it's got to be the e.l.f. Pressed Mineral Foundation. I have been so impressed with e.l.f.'s Pressed Mineral line, and this is another one of those phenomenon powders that really goes on looking fresh, giving your skin just kind of a velvety, perfected type look. I just love the texture, very creamy. And the more I've used this late in the past year, the more I've noticed it really compares, if not exceeds, the quality of look, the type of look I get with the NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat Powder Foundation. I still really like that one. It was really close, but I do think this one is my new favorite. For favorite bronzer, I have a new high-end favorite this year, and this is something that technically contains a bronzer, okay? But it is kind of a contour product as well, and it's the Smashbox Contour Palette. Definitely snuck in at the tail end of the year, but I so love this product and would totally recommend this to you guys. I mean, it's got your 3 shades going on here. First off, this is not about highlight, this category, but this is an amazing highlight. Totally reminds me of the Laura Geller Baked French Vanilla that I love so much, so that's in there, added bonus. But you've got these 2 products here that are basically, this is labeled as bronze, this is contour, but depending on your preferences, you can kind of mix and use varying amounts of each of these to really get the perfect contour shade for you. It just gives such a great dimension to the face, and I'm not really surprised that I love this because this shade is a total dupe, like equivalent to Too Faced Chocolate Soleil. For drugstore, my best bronzer this year is the Color Wheel Mosaic Face Powder, and the shade is All Over Bronze Glow. Don't be swayed by the word glow because this is a matte product. I love this bronzer. If you find yourself going through bronzer quickly, maybe you're like me and you not only will use it on your face, but down here on the décolleté area as well, anywhere where skin is showing, this is a great product because it's so inexpensive. If you go through a lot of it, it's not really a big deal. While I love NYC Sunny, this is deeper than that. It is a little bit on the warm side, but I still think it's great for contouring. I have a full review on this, and I do have full reviews on a lot of products that I've mentioned over on the Express channel. I'll link to anything related down below, but this is a great drugstore bronzer, definitely a hidden gem type product there. For best high-end blush, we've got a repeat winner, and it's the Balm In Stain blushes. Love these blushes for pigmentation, staying power. I mean, the packaging is adorable, and I have rediscovered one of them that I hadn't used much when I first got these, but I'm loving it now, and it's the one called Pinstripe. It's a beautiful plummy blush, shears out so wonderfully on the cheeks. Great wintertime blush. And for the drugstore, I've got a new winner there also, and it's Sleek. And I know Sleek is not readily available in the US drugstores, but it's definitely something worth checking out online. These are some of the most pigmented blushes I've tried, but I also really appreciate how they keep the packaging so compact. You know, this is a single blush that I have in Flamingo. This is what I'm wearing today. It's beautiful, but I also really love their blush by threes. Those little palettes are so handy, and you get multiple tones of blush. In some cases, like a cream and a couple of powders might be in there, or just 3 powder blushes. For cream blush, one that really stuck out to me this year is Benefit Majorette. And yeah, there was a full review on this not too long ago, but this is a great texture for a cream product because it almost goes kind of cream to powder. And this particular shade is absolutely stunning on the cheeks. Oh, I love how when I open that up, I get such a great scent out of this. It's kind of fruity. And this is just the perfect corally peachy tone on the cheeks. Doesn't have shimmer, just a really great blush. For favorite drugstore cream blush, it's a 2-time winner, and it's the Maybelline Master Glaze Blush Sticks. These are really, really easy to blend out. A lot of cream blushes will be too dewy, too sticky, and tacky on the cheeks. That makes them hard to blend in, not necessarily have the best staying power, and just, you know, tricky to work with on top of foundations and other stuff you're wearing. These are some of the smoothest cream blushes you will try, and they just go to a really easy to work with texture. Use the e.l.f. small stipple brush with these if you want to, or you can use your fingers. It's up to you, but I love these, and I love this pink shade particularly. It's called Pink Fever, and I think it looks really healthy and fresh. Best highlight this year is most definitely the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. I got a 3-pack in the Spotlight version before the holidays, and I just fell in love with these. I'm pretty sure the full size of these are much larger and come with a pump, but this is the pearl one that I have here. I feel like the beautiful look that you get when you put these right on the top of your cheeks, cheekbone area, is just unmatched. I actually got one of the powder ones in Opal to compare to this, and I really just think that the liquidy version, something about that is just perfect, because you could look up really closely at your skin and not necessarily pick out what is making your skin glow, but it just looks beautiful. So I really love the Shimmering Skin Perfectors. I do have a category for Mattifier / touch-up product, and one favorite has really dominated this category for several years now, and it is my Mally Poreless Face Defender. It's been so interesting because so many drugstore brands, other brands have come out with things that should be similar to this, or all the claims are pretty much the same as what this claims to do. And other things I've tried could be workable if you're really, really careful with them, but the mistake I think that's being made with those is that the consistency is so creamy. With the Mally Poreless Face Defender, if you're not familiar with this product, you use a sponge, kind of get some of this on here, and then you can dab it over your skin to kind of mattify and perfect. I like to use it as a touch-up, like later on in the day, keep this in my purse quite often. But this is such a solid here. You know, you could rub your finger on it and you can tell you're picking some up, but it's very, very solid for the most part. With this, you know, I could go swirling my finger on this for a minute and not really have picked up visible product, but other ones that have come out are just so creamy and kind of goopy. And that's not the kind of thing I want to go blotting on my face, you know, after I get a little shiny midday. So this is the kind of thing that I really, really love, and hopefully maybe someday, you know, a drugstore brand will really master this kind of formula. I do have a category for setting spray. I have been experimenting lately with several different high-end options, but so far nothing has really knocked my socks off like the NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray. This, I mean, don't think of it like 1 or 2 spritzes is going to really make your skin look tacky and dewy, but I've got some of it on now, and I think it just takes away the powdery finish of your skin. A couple spritzes of these after you do your makeup, or if you find your makeup starts to look more apparent on your skin as the day goes on, a little bit of this on top would be great. I've sent this to my mom. I think she's going to get tons of good out of it as well. If you like to have a powder on your skin, but you just don't want everybody to know that you've got powder on your skin, this is a great thing to use, I think. And I've got some new setting sprays. Like I said, I'm trying one from Smashbox, I'm trying one from L'Oreal. I've been using them on and off, but I haven't noticed much of a difference between those and this one, which is cheaper and I think does a great job. So thank you guys so much for watching my Emily Awards for Face. There will be eyes coming up next, so keep an eye out in your subscription feeds for that. Also, I always update my Beauty Broadcast Facebook page, Twitter, and Instagram whenever there's something new. I really appreciate your excitement and enthusiasm for these Emily Awards every year. I am so happy to do them for you too. So have a great day, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!